You are locked into the Sports Zone, the Razorbacks Nation's home for the real talk, bold takes, and no off seasons. I'm your host, Cordell, aka the Wine Boss, serving up smooth sports insights with a nice, bold finish. Today is episode 2. We're going to try to find answers to the $1,000,000 question, to everybody's question right now. Who is the number one running back for the Hogs this season? Who's stepping up right now? And who is showing out right now? And most of all, who has that D.O.G in them? Dog. Because there's no way you can wear that red and be a hog without being a dog. So let's get into it. So here's the deal. I think if I was to ask everybody the question about who is the best running back in the running back room at the University of Arkansas, most people would say hands down, Braylon Russell, right? Right. And I wouldn't even argue with that. I can't even argue with that. Braylon Russell clearly has the biggest upside of all the running backs in the running back room, and that is 100% facts. However, Braylon Russell has limited experience. He has very limited playing experience. He's a young kid. He was just a freshman last year, and he was only able to play in about 3 or 4 games last season before tearing his hamstring, I should say, and that ended up costing him the season. So he only was able to kind of get a little bit of taste of what it was like to be in the SEC. So he really hasn't really felt a real workload of a number one running back. So the next candidate is Mike Washington. And this kid here is a big kid coming in to us from New Mexico State. He's about 225 pounds. Washington has been turning heads at practice. I believe he broke out on a 50-yard run that ended up scoring a touchdown. So, yeah, I mean that's a big deal for a kid that's coming in trying to compete. And Washington played mostly mid-major football, and we know that playing at Arkansas is a step up. So there's still questions about him as well. But he does bring great size and great speed, just like Russell does. They share a lot of the same similar traits, being a big back that, can come with power as well as speed. So it's a nice competition going on right now. And I'm excited about it because you never can have too many good options in the backfield. So let's take a quick look at this clip. And let's
Hey
see
guys,
what the running backs
Coach Smith was just
pretty
in
much
here
have to say
talking
about
about
each other.
the competition, and we've seen you guys all kind of rotating through fastball when we're there. Just wonder if all three of you can talk about the competition in the room, how good it is to maybe have a deep room, and what that's bringing out of you guys.
I feel like our competition is great. We have a diverse room. We all can do different things. So I feel like us competing in the room is just getting us better for what's to come out there on the field.
Definitely to piggyback off of what he said, we do have a very diverse room. Not only that, we kind of make each other better because of our, different skill sets. It's no hatred or enviness within the room. Everybody's willing to learn from each other. So I think that's what makes our room pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like everybody got a different archetype and stuff like that, but everybody just like in our room, we really love each other. Like it's different. And it's like really more than balls, like really a family. So like that carries out there on the field.
So before I proceed, I just wanted to introduce the running backs from left to right. The guy on the left with the dreads is Rodney Hill. Then the guy in the middle is Mike Washington, the transfer from New Mexico State. And of course, we know Braylon Russell to the far right.
Have you noticed any added level of comfort now in the fall? You know, a second round of practice. How do you feel? Maybe better than you did even in the spring when you first got here.
Yeah, kind of in the spring, I kind of was really going off the dome, everything. Now I'm starting to learn the plays, or I've learned the plays now, so I'm not really second guessing before getting out there, and it's making me play faster than what I did in the spring.
When you say different archetypes, are you talking like EA college football and you're an east-west playmaker and you're a north-south receiver and you're an elusive bruiser?
Pretty
Is that
much.
what you mean?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Appreciate it.
Braylon, I was surprised Colby Smith was in here, said that you didn't have like a great spring and they were like sending you like different stuff of like Mike Allstott and different running backs and stuff. But he said like what you're doing now is night and day from what was going on in the spring. What's changed about your mindset and I guess your approach and why are you having such a good camp?
I would say just watching the people they sent me and just like piggybacking off what, because they sent me some bruisers and they sent me some bruisers that are fast, and I was like piggybacking off of that, just going watching and seeing what he did on this, why he's that great. So that's probably why I'm having a better camp than I did in the spring.
Yeah. What do you think in the spring there was that maybe held you back a little bit from reaching potential?
I would say maybe still learning myself, seeing what I can do and what I can't do, getting better at what I couldn't do. Now I'm getting better at what I couldn't do in the spring, running hard, explosive, catching the ball at the backfield and stuff like that. So I've learned more in this camp than what I could do in the spring.
Braylon lost a little bit of weight since last season, but you look like I guess you're probably big as you've ever been right now. What went into that? Was that the game plan for you just to add a little more size?
Yes, sir. Just eat, live, sleep. Really, that's all that was my main goal after December after the bowl game. Just like start back eating more, eating like 3 or 4 times a day. Just trying to get my weight up. I can't be out there running at like 185.
Okay, so just wanted to kind of get a little bit of context from the press conference that was held today. What I got out of it, pretty much, I feel that there's real competition. I see a respect between all three of the running backs. They all mentioned diversity, being diverse and bringing a difference, a twist to what the running game, um, what each one brings to the running game. The other one can complement each other. So, um, Rodney Hill mentioned love. That they're like a family. Mike Washington mentioned that there's no hating or there's no jealousy. So anytime you got a group of guys that they don't care, I mean, they want to run the ball, but they're not going to complain if they're not running. That's always good. So the feel is that it's a pretty good room. It's a good competitive room. Um, Washington, basically spoke about being more comfortable. In the spring, he transferred to us and he wasn't comfortable. He really didn't know the plays and he was just kind of out there. But he said that as he learned the plays and got his legs under him and um, you know, became more comfortable, executing in the way that he's supposed to at running back. This fall, he's been turning heads. He's had a 50-yard run in the first day of scrimmage, scoring a touchdown against our defense. So, he's definitely, knocking at the door, making everybody understand who he is. And then, Braylon, he spoke about he didn't have a good spring. But keep in mind, he was coming off an injury and he didn't really get to like finish the year. So he kind of was in a funk a little bit probably in the spring. And again, he couldn't play enough to really learn enough. And I mentioned that earlier that, it's something to be said about reps and carries. And he wasn't really able to carry any more than like 60 times. So in the spring, he was kind of off. So the coaching staff, basically wanted him to study, guys that play professionally that's built like him so he can kind of get an understanding of how to um, reach his full potential because he definitely has a lot of potential. But the point being is that he's still inexperienced because he said himself, he's learning who he is, learning what he can do, and learning what he can't do. So he's basically is maturing and from how it sounds to me, I don't feel like he's fully matured right now at this point. And could that impact how many more times that Washington gets to carry or how many less times that Russell gets to carries? We'll see. So, but you got many, many, many options stepping up to try to replace Jaquindon Jackson last year, who got 790 yards rushing. It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. So with Russell only getting a little bit of workload. You can't just say that he can handle a full workload. Yeah, he's built to, but you still have to go through it. Both guys are big backs, and we'll see, how that competition, ultimately turns out. So so moving right along, the Arkansas Razorbacks were third in the SEC in rushing last season. That deserves a round of applause. In fact, it deserves two. Jaquindon Jackson had a nice chunk of those yards by gaining 790 yards rushing. Who is going to step up and replace Jackson's production? Point blank. Russell only 350 yards last year on 67 carries. Washington only 750 yards rushing on 150 carries last year, and he did not get injured and played the whole season. So maybe is that an advantage? I don't know. The Hogs have many options. Will it be Braylon Russell? Or will it be Mike Washington? Or will it be Rodney Hill, who showed plenty explosion last year, especially in the Liberty Bowl game by carrying for 80, I think it was like 80 yards on 8 carries, but he's only carried the ball 28 times last year. So you can't say he's number one. So I don't know. It's just tough. It's hard to see right now. We got to let it all unfold. So we want to move along and we want to send a special shout out or recognition. Quick shout out to my guy, Hall Fan for Life. Yeah, Hall Fan for Life, man. You came on and you said that the running back position isn't decided yet. You were spot on, bro. I salute you for that. I give you another round on that. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all, like I said, turns out on opening day. But make sure y'all keep y'all takes coming in on X at Wineboss 1978. So the bottom line is that there's a lot to be said about how the coaches will split up the carries because neither guy I can say can tote it 20 times. That I can't. There's nobody out there yet. And so how will it go? Will he balance both guys carries? Will both of them carry it 10 times? Will one guy get it 15 and the other guy get it 10? Can you utilize all three of them? I hope so. But what about Rodney Hill, who's had a lot, of moments of showing flashiness? And will it be AJ Green, who happened to come back to the University of Arkansas for his last season after transferring from Oklahoma State? So we have many, many, many nice options here. But in order to take the next step, somebody has to emerge as the number one guy. And when you're playing the biggest games, you got to have a guy that you can trust that's not going to shy away from the moment, that's not going to fumble the ball away. So it's a lot still is to be said about who that guy going to be. So we'll see how all this shapes up, people. So that's it for today's episode of the Sports Zone. If you like what you heard and if you like what you see, subscribe, follow, and share with your fellow Hog fans, people. Catch me at Wineboss 1978 for more takes and behind the scenes action. And until the next time, stay bold, stay loyal, and go Hawk. So, with that being said, take care, everybody. I'm out.